I'm just not sure it's going to be able to see it. Shabbat Shalom, everybody.
Shabbat
Welcome
shalom.
to our Friday night Zoom service here at Mikveh Israel. We're on Zoom and YouTube. Zoom for people who want to participate, and YouTube for people who want to watch and just enjoy. Everybody, of course, is welcome. We also record it to our computer so that we'll have it in case anybody wants to see it later on a different platform. But again, all our best to everybody. We hope you have had a wonderful week so far and that everything is going well. I want to introduce everybody who's participating so far tonight. Here's the gallery. So welcome to Caton. I'm going to change your name from Lucille to Flo.
Just like that.
Just like that. I have that kind of power, Caton. Welcome to Alan. Welcome to Leslie, our president. I'm going to change her name as well. And then welcome to anybody else who is joining us. For those of you who are new to our service, we do thank every week the Reform Movement and CCR because they give us free access to the prayer book online, and they're still doing it 3 years in, which is really impressive because that's usually not the case. So thank you to them for continuing to give us free access to it. So we're going to begin on page 5 in our prayer book, which is, I'm sorry, page 2 in our prayer book, 2 or 120. Then we're going to find the candles. I think, Caton, were you going to lead or somebody else going to lead for that?
I can lead.
All right. Everybody else, there we go. So we got the big giant candles that usually go on in the sanctuary. So today, so we got the big ones.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kidshanu b'mitzvotam v'tzivanu l'had likner shel Shabbat.
Thank you, Caton. Oh, sorry, keeping the English too. My bad. I switched it over.
Blessed are you, Adonai our God, sovereign of the universe, who hallows us with mitzvot, commanding us to kindle the light of Shabbat.
Thank you, Caden, as we're going to turn to 344. And for those of you who have the large print, the large one with both Shabbat and weekdays, it's 648. As our opening song is going to be Shir Chadash, or translated as a new song, based on the Psalm 96. Thank you, Kelly, as we're going to now go back to our prayer book, and we're going to page 7 or 125. If the prayer book will let me do that, which it's not letting me do right now. So 1 second. There we go. Let's see if it'll let me get back into it. I'll have to go that way to do it. So page 7 or 125, as we're going to have our opening reading. I'm going to invite Leslie to lead us in the reading at the top of the page.
Where has this week vanished? Is it lost forever? Will I ever recover anything from it? The joy of life, the unexpected victory, the realized hope, the task accomplished. Will I ever be able to banish the memory of pain, the sting of defeat, the heaviness of boredom? On this day, let me keep for a while what must drift away. On this day, let me be free of the burdens that must return. On this day, Shabbat abide.
Thank you, Leslie, for that lovely reading as we're going to go to page 20 or 138 as we do on Friday night for the most famous of all of the prayers for Kabbalat Shabbat, Lecha Dodi. Kelly, we're doing 1, 2, 5, and 9.
Yes.
We're going to sing verses 1, 2, 5, and 9. And again, 20 or 138.
Likadodi likrat kala yalala 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 B'nai Shabbat nekabela Likadodi likrat kala yalala 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 B'nai Shabbat nekabela Shamor v'zakor b'di b'nur echad Hishmi anu el hameyukad Adonai echad u'shmo excuse me, l'shem ultiferet v'litehila Likadodi likrat kala yalala 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 P'nei Shabbat nekabela Likadodi likrat kala yalala 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 P'nei Shabbat nekabela Likrat Shabbat likuven elka Ki makor habaraka Mirosh mekedem nesuka Sof mashe b'makshavat hila Likadodi likrat kala yalala 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 B'nei Shabbat nekabela Likadodi likrat kala yalala 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 B'nei Shabbat nekabela
Verse 5.
Hitoreri, hitoreri, kivaorei kumiori, uri, uri, shir daberi, kevod Adonai, Allah yiknigla, likadodi ligrat kala yalala yalala yalala, B'nai Shabbat nekabela, likadodi ligrat kala yalala yalala yalala, B'nai Shabbat nekabela.
Verse 9.
Oiva shalom ateret bala kam besimcha uvitzola tokemone am segula boi kala likadodi likrat kala yalala 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 P'nei Shabbat nekabela likadodi likrat kala yalala 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 P'nei Shabbat
Thank you, Kelly. It's great to have you leading us. We're going to turn to page 28 or 146 for the Baruch Hu, the call to worship. A reminder, as you can see on 28 and on page 29, there is one Hebrew prayer and 3 translations because each is a different translation of the same Hebrew prayer. So we usually do the Hebrew or just one of the translations. Here we're going to do the Hebrew as we invite Kelly to lead us in the call to worship.
Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Le'olam Va'ed.
On page 31 or 149 at the very bottom, we're going to invite Alan, who is great at reading the footnotes, to read our beautiful footnote on prayer for creation, this one by Amos Oz.
I know that the tide is not an independent force, but merely the submission of the water to the movement of the moon in its orbit. And this orbit, in its turn, is subject to other orbits which are mightier far than it. And so the whole universe is held fast in the clinging grip of strong hands. The forces of earth and sun, planets and comets and galaxies, blindly erupting forces, ceaselessly stirring in ripples of silence to the very depth of black space.
Thank you, Alan. As we're going to turn to the next page, as Caton is going to lead us in our prayer of God's love. Again, we have one for the morning, which is Ahavat Rabbah, and in the evening, Ahavat Olam. So Caton will lead us, page 32 or 150.
Ahavat olam, Beit Yisrael, Amcha ahavta, Amcha ahavta, Torah u'mishpot, Kukim u'mishpatim, Otanu lemadata, Otanu lemadata. Al ken Adonai Eloheinu b'shachmenu, u'chumenu na'asiach b'chukecha, v'nismak v'divrei Toratecha, u'mitzvotecha le'olam ba'ed. Yihem chayenu, ve'orech yameinu, ubahem nege yomam v'layla, nege yomam v'layla. Ve'ahavatcha al tasir, imenu le'olamim. Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev amo Yisrael, Ohev amo Yisrael.
Thank you, Caton, for that lovely prayer. As we're going to go to 34 or 152, as we're going to invite Kelly to lead us in Shema.
Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. 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 Baruch Shem Kavod Malkuto Leolam Vaed. Baruch Shem Kavod Malkuto Leolam Vaed. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad.
Thank you, Kelly. It is on page 36 or 154. We celebrate the commandments as Caton is going to lead us in Ve'ahavta.
Ve'ahava, try that again. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha, V'kol levavcha, V'kol nafshecha, V'kol meodecha, Ve'hayu hadvarim ha'eleh, Asher Anoki Mitzavcha Hayom al Barabecha Vishinantam Libanecha Vitibarta Bam Veshiftaka Beitecha Ubalektacha Vaderek Ubashochvaka Ufakumecha Ukshartam Leo Ayedeka Ve'ayula totafot beineinecha, ukatavtam al mezuzot bitecha, uvisharecha. Leman tizkeru, ve'asitem et kol mitzvotai, v'yitem kedoshim le'elohechem. Ani Adonai Elohechem, Asher hotzeti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim, להיות לכם לאלוהים. Ani Adonai Elohechem.
Fantastic. Thank you, Caden. Is on page 37 or 155. I'm going to invite Flo to lead us in the translation. And I can enlarge it, Flo, but I may take off the top sentence or two. So I'll let you start there.
Love your God with every heartbeat, with every breath, with every conscious act. Keep in mind the words I command you today. Teach them to your children. Talk about them at work. Whether you are tired or you are rested, let them guide the work of your hands. Keep them in the forefront of your vision. Do not leave them in a doorway of your house or outside your gate. They are reminders to do all my mitzvot, so that you can be holy for God. I am Adonai, your God. I led you out of Egypt to become your God. I am Adonai, your God.
Thank you very much. As we're going to turn to page 39 for our prayer of redemption, also 157. I'm going to invite Noel to lead us, if you, our wonderful representative from Texas. And I'll help you get off mute. There we go. Perfect, Noel.
In a world torn by violence and pain, a world far from wholeness and peace, give us the courage to say, Adonai, there is one God in heaven and earth. The high heavens declare your glory. May earth reveal your justice and love. From bondage in Egypt, we were delivered at Sinai. We bound ourselves to your way. Inspired by prophets and instructed by sages, time and again we overcame oppressive forces. Though our failings are many and our faults are great, it has been our glory to bear witness to our God, keeping alive in dark ages your vision of a world redeemed. Let us continue to work for the day when the nations will be at one and at peace. Then shall we rejoice as Israel did, singing on the shores of the sea.
And thank you. As we go to the next page for our prayer of freedom, Micha Mocha.
Mi kamoka bailim Adonai, mi kamoka nedar bakodesh, nora tehilot o sefele, nora tehilot o sefele, malekuteka ranu vaneka, bokei ayam lifnei Moshe uMiriam, ze Eli amu ve'amru, Adonai yimlok le'olam va'ed.
Thank you, Kelly, for leading us in that beautiful prayer. We're now going to continue with Hashkivenu, but a different version than's found in the prayer book. Hashkivenu, of course, is the prayer we ask God to protect us while we sleep, so we will wake up invigorated. And this is my favorite version that Kelly sings, so I'm going to invite her to lead us in this version of Hashkivenu.
Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom, l'shalom, v'hamidenu shomerenu l'chaim. Ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha, ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha. Amen.
you, Kelly. That was absolutely stunning. And so now what we're going to do is we're going to go back to the prayer book as we're going to sing our prayer for the Sabbath. And you can find that on page 44 or 162. We're going to sing the Shamru, and you can find that at the top of the page.
בשמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. בני ובין בני ישראל, אותי לעולם. בשמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. וביום השביעי שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם.
Thank you, Kelly. On page 48 or 166, we'll find the Avot, and on page 50 and 168, we find the Giverot. Together, we're going to sing the first two paragraphs of the Amidah.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, V'Kodei HaKol, V'Zoker Kastei Avot B'Emot, U'Mevi Geula Livnei B'Nehem, L'man Shemo B'Ahava, Melech Ozer U'Moshia U'Magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham, V'Zorat Sarah. Atah Gibor Leolam Adonai, Mechayeh HaKol atah Rav Leoshia. Mechakel Chaim Bechesed, Mechayeh HaKol B'Rakamim Rabim, Somek Noflim V'Rofei Kolim, Umatir Asurim, Umakayem Emunato Lishenei Afar, Michamocha Bal Giborot, Umido Melach, Melech Meimit Umakaye, Umatzmiach Yeshua, Vene'eman Atala HaKayot HaKol, Baruch atah Adonai, Mekayeh HaKol.
Thank you, Kelly. As we're going to continue the Amidah on page 53 or 171, I'm going to invite Alan to read the paragraph at the top of the page.
Days pass and the years vanish, and we walk sightless among miracles. God, fill our eyes with seeing and our minds with knowing. Let there be moments when your presence, like lightning, illumines the darkness in which we walk. Help us to see, wherever we gaze, that the bush burns unconsumed, and we, clay touched by God, will reach out for holiness and exclaim in wonder, how filled with awe is this place, and we did not know it. Blessed is the Eternal One, the Holy God. Baruch atah Adonai, Ha'el HaKadosh.
Thank you, Alan, as we continue with our prayer for the Sabbath found in the Amidah. So I'm going to invite Flo to lead us, the version at the bottom. I'll enlarge it for you.
Disturb us, Adonai, ruffle us from our complacency, Make us dissatisfied with the peace of ignorance, the quietude arises from the shunning of the horror to defeat the bitterness and the poverty, physical and spiritual, of humans. Shock us, Adonai. Deny to us the false Shabbat that gives us the delusions of satisfaction amid the world of war and hatred. Wake us, O God, and shake us from the sweet and sad poignancies rendered by half-forgotten melodies and rubric prayers of yesteryears. Make us know that the border of the sanctuary is not the border of living, and the walls of your temples are not shelters from the winds of truth, justice, and reality. Disturb us, O God, and vex us. Let us not your Sabbath be the day of temper and slumber. Let it be a time to be stirred and spurred into action. Baruch atah Adonai v'kadosh haShabbat.
Thank you very much. Beautifully done. As we continue with Retzei on page 57 or 175, as we're going to invite Kelly to lead us and the Retzei song Ever Present one at the top of the page.
Ever present one, may we, your people Israel, be worthy in our deeds and our prayers. Ever present one, may we, your people Israel, be worthy in our deeds and our prayers. Wherever we live, wherever we seek you, in this land, in Zion, restored in all lands, you are our God, whom alone we serve in reverence. Ritzei Adonai Eloheinu ve'amcha Yisrael, u'tefilatam ve'ahava tekabel. Wherever we live, wherever we seek you, in this land, in Zion, restored in all lands, you are our God, whom alone we serve in reverence. Ever present one, may we, your people Israel, be worthy in our deeds and our prayers.
Thank you, Kelly. On page 59 or 177, we find our prayer of thanks. I invite Leslie to read the one at the bottom of the page, when we behold.
When we behold your heavens, the works of your fingers, the moon and the stars that you set in place, what are we humans that you are mindful of us? We mortals that you take note of us. You made us little less than divine, adorned us with glory and majesty. You gave us dominion over your handiwork, laying the world at our feet. How majestic is your name throughout the earth.
Thank you very much. Is on the next page, we come to our concluding prayer in the Amidah. Of course, our prayer of peace. So I'll invite Kelly to lead us in Shalom Rav.
Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Ki atah hu melech adon l'kol shalom. Ki atah hu melech adon l'kol shalom. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Shalom Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam Tasim Leolam Tasim Leolam.
Thank you, Kelly. And I'm going to invite Noel. Would you read this short translation where it says, grant abundant peace? And you're still on mute. Let me get to help you unmute. There you go. Perfect.
Grant abundance peace to Israel, your people forever. For you are the sovereign God of peace. May it be pleasing to you to bless your people Israel in every season and moment with your peace.
And that
Blessed are you,
Perfect.
Adonai, who blesses your people Israel in peace. Baruch atah Adonai, hamavarech et amo Yisrael, mashalom.
Perfect. Thank you, Noel. We appreciate it. We're now going to turn to page 253 as we're going to sing our Misha Berach. It is also page 371. So the Misha Berach we're going to sing is in the middle of the page. It's Debbie Friedman's, as we do almost every Friday night. If anyone online here on Zoom wants to give a name, I invite you to do so. Also, all those who are watching on YouTube, I invite you to do so as well.
Mildred Berman, Alan Jones, Marie Petroli.
We pray for them and all who are ill at this time as we sing our Misha Berach.
Misha Berach Avoteinu Makor HaBaraka Imotenu. May the source of strength, who blessed the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen. Misha Berach Imotenu Makor HaBaraka Imotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say Amen.
Thank you, Kelly. And now let's take a moment of private meditation. We continue with Oseh Shalom.
Oseh Shalom Bimromav Uyaseh Shalom Aleinu Ve'al Kol Yisrael De'imeru Amen. Oseh Shalom Bimromav Uyaseh Shalom Aleinu Ve'al Kol Yisrael De'imeru Amen.
Thank you, Kelly, and Shabbat Shalom again to everyone. Before we continue, I want to see if anyone has any warm tidings or exciting news they'd like to share. Just came from a wedding earlier today, so Mazel Tov the Hollanders. Alan,
I have a birthday coming up on Monday.
happy birthday. I hope you have a wonderful time. Anybody else have? All right. So let's say, Kelly, do you have something?
Yeah, I just wanted to say my kids' original musical is coming out on YouTube
Oh,
on
wow.
on Halloween.
Awesome.
So yeah,
Well, and it was
Is that
amazing. You saw it
that's a
live, so,
birthday
I
present.
saw it live. Yeah, yeah.
and it was
But
at the Savannah Theater.
it's a
Not
lot
the
of
Savannah,
fun. It's a
not the Savannah,
really
but
cute story. Yeah, it was at
not the Savannah
Dublin
Theater.
Bay Street Theater.
Yeah.
But yeah. So Rockabye the Musical online, YouTube.
All right. So let's say Shechianu Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, Shechianu v'kiyamanu v'higianu lazman hazeh. Blessed are you, eternal God, ruler of the universe, who creates us, sustains us, and brings us times of great joy, just like a wedding, just like a birthday, and just like our daughter's incredible show being online, which you can buy on YouTube. Amen. So I read stories to kids every Friday online, and I just read one of my favorite books. If you haven't read Stuck, it's a really wonderful kids book about a kid who gets his kite stuck in the tree. So he throws his favorite shoe, and what happens to the shoe? It gets stuck in the tree. So then he throws his other shoe to try and get that shoe, and it gets stuck in the tree, and it just keeps going like this. He throws the cat. He throws eventually a whole bunch of stuff. Then he gets the idea to bring and get a ladder. So he brings the ladder over. What does he do with the ladder? He throws it to try and knock down the cat that he had thrown. And then he goes and calls the fire department, and he throws the fire truck into the tree, and the firemen into the tree, and the houses into the tree, and he throws a whale into the tree, and the lighthouse, and eventually the kite finally falls down, and he goes and plays with the kite, and he's happy, and he wakes up in the middle of the night. He says, I think I forgot something. And so it's a wonderful story. It's just a comedy. There's no moral, I don't think, but it's a great story. And I think if I read it to my kids, even my 3-year-old son would probably figure out it's a story. It's not meant to be truthful. He might not at 3, but my daughter can certainly figure out that a little boy can't lift a whale or lift a lighthouse and throw it into the tree. So it's an obvious story made for fun. And this is very similar to an obvious story we have in the Bible that is probably not true. And what story is it? One of the most fantastical stories of them all, the creation of the world. At least we know the world was created. That's at least legitimate, even if you don't believe in the literal text. But the story is 2 of each animal gets into an ark, and they're in the ark for 9 months to a year. They get off, and then we repopulate the planet with human beings and animals, which we all, and probably anybody throughout history, can figure out that if you only have one of each animal, you're not going to be able to propagate the species. First of all, even if the children marry each other, there is a good chance one of these animals is going to die, and then you won't have. So from the very beginning, we should realize the story of Noah is not meant to be literal, because obviously you can't fit every animal into the ark. And if you could, there's not enough to repopulate the species. And so it is obviously a story that teaches us something about ourselves as human beings and the issues we have and behavior we have, that we may destroy each other, that if we don't be careful, we're going to destroy the earth. There's a lot of ideas, but what we have to remember is when we read a story like Noah, which is a fantastical story, they've made movies out of it. The last movie they came out was really quite mediocre. But yet, it is a story that teaches us, and it's important for us to realize that not everything is meant to be taken literally, that a lot of these stories are meant to teach us something about ourselves and our world. And in this case, care for the animals. If we're going to destroy our world, what happens to the animals? If human beings keep misbehaving, why should they bear the brunt? God is giving us a new opportunity, as God does so many times, to get it right. And so as we read Noah, this wonderful book that we share with our kids and teach our kids, but even kids at a certain age are going to realize it's just a story to teach us something and that it's not feasible. So I hope we enjoy the story of Noah. I hope we get something out of it because, again, that's what it's there for. So enjoy the story of Noah, and we're going to continue with our service on page 282 in our prayer book, as I'm going to invite us to turn there for the Aleinu. We're going to sing the Aleinu at the bottom of the page.
Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם. ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא.
Page 287 or 591 for Ne'emar.
ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו אחד.
Thank you, Kelly. As we prepare for Kaddish, we turn to the bottom of page 291 or 595, as we're going to invite Kate to lead us in Yesh Kochavim, also known as There Are Stars Up Above.
I don't see it on that page you mentioned.
It's on 291 or 595.
Oh, thank you. Yesh kokavim shel ram magia atza, raka asher heim atzman abdu v'einav. Yesh anashim sheziv zikram meir, asher heim atzman einam od betocheyu. Orod elehem avakim, v'cheshkai halayil, heim shamarim la'adam et haderech, heim shamarim la'adam et haderech. There are stars up above, so far away we only see their light, long, long after the star itself is gone. And so it is with people that we loved. Their memories keep shining ever brightly, though their time with us is done. But the stars that light up the darkest night, these are the lights that guide us as we live our days. These are the ways we remember. As we live our days, these are the ways we remember.
Thank you, Caden, for that beautiful rendition. We're going to continue now, so we're going to go to page 295 or page 599. 295 or 599. We think of our loved ones whom death has recently taken from us, those who died at this season in years past, and those we have drawn into our hearts with our own. Zichronam livracha. May the memories be for a blessing. As we do each week, we honor the memories of men and women who gave their lives defending our country as members of our armed forces and police forces. We remember the yahrzeit anniversary of Joseph M. Bick, Nathan Kraft, Ella Kravich, Francis Levkoy, Albert Mazo, Julius Morgan, Eloise Minkoff Paderewski, Gladys Rabhan, Rebecca Marcus Raskin, Harry Raskin, Helen Liff Raskin, Maureen M. Weiner. Does anybody else have the name of someone they'd like to add? The Kaddish praise is found on the previous page. As together.
My sister, Susan Tolsky.
Thank you, Noel. And our condolences to you. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei rabbah, v'yalma divrach hirutei v'yamlich malchutei, v'chayachon v'yomechon v'chayedecho beit Yisrael, v'agalah v'zman kari v'yamru amen. Yehei shmei rabbah mevarach l'olam al mei maya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'bar v'tromam v'yitnaseh, yithadar v'yitalev v'yitalal shemei dekudusha b'richu, leila min kol birchata v'shirata, Tush bechata v'nechamata, damiram be'alma ve'imru amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imru amen. Osei shalom b'rumav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imru amen. May the one who creates harmony and high bring peace to us and to all the world, to which we say amen. And now it's a pleasure to invite up our Parnasit, our president, Leslie Westmoreland.
Thank you, Rabbi. Good Shabbos, everybody. It's nice to see those of you on Zoom, especially Noel, who I don't get to see at Mikveh Israel. Great to see all of you, and thank you for participating in the services. Kelly, the music was beautiful today, as always. Thank you. And Rabbi, thank you for leading such a lovely service. And welcome to everybody watching on YouTube. So we're glad you could join us too today. Just a few announcements. We will have live services tomorrow at 11 o'clock at Congregation Mikveh Israel. And I also want to remind everybody that the following Saturday will be our Veterans Day service. It's a little before Veterans Day, but we will be having Nelson Melitz, who is the Jewish War Veterans National Commander, speaking. He'll speak for a minute, I think, or a few minutes during services, and then again after lunch. I think I'm right on that, right, Rabbi?
Yep, exactly.
Yep. Okay, so please join us. He will be a wonderful speaker and very interesting, I'm sure. So that is on the 5th. And then also a huge reminder to everybody about Food Fest on November 13th. We're so excited to be back outside and greeting the Jewish community. So we need volunteers. Please check Jennifer's email out. The Sign Up Genius was there. We need volunteers beforehand, and we need volunteers day of. So please check out that and sign up where you can to help us out. I hope to see all of you before then, but especially on that day. Shabbat Shalom, and everyone have a good weekend.
Thank you, Leslie. Thank you to everyone else who participated as well. I'm going to put you on gallery view. So thank you to Caton and to Alan and to Flo and Leslie and Noel. And again, our condolences to you, Noel. And thank you to Kelly. As we're going to go back into our prayer book, as we're going to sing Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu, one of my favorites that Kelly does. So invite everyone, before we do it though, to wish everyone, so everybody online, please wish everybody a Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom, as we're going to sing at the very bottom of the page, Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu.
We'll start with a little bit of Kiva Moed and work our way into it. Kiva Moed, Kiva Moed, Kiva Moed. Odivo Shalom Aleinu, Odivo Shalom Aleinu, Odivo Shalom Aleinu Ve'al Kulam. Odivo Shalom Aleinu, Odivo Shalom Aleinu, Odivo Shalom Aleinu Ve'al Kulam. Salam Aleinu Ve'al Kol Haolam. Salam, salam, salam Aleinu Ve'al Kol Haolam. Salam, salam. Odivo Shalom Aleinu, Odivo Shalom Aleinu, Odivo Shalom Aleinu Ve'al Kulam. Odivo Shalom Aleinu, Odivo Shalom Aleinu, Odivo Shalom Aleinu Ve'al Kulam.
Thank you, Kelly, for that beautiful concluding prayer. Before we do conclude, we're going to go and do, of course, Kiddush and Motzi. So you can go to page 5 or 123 in our prayer book. And there we'll find Kiddush. We're going to invite Caton to do it for us. Caton, you have your glass with you? You want me to use my glass?
I have my
All right,
glass.
he's got his. Perfect. Page 5 or 123 for Kiddush.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher b'chabanu mikol hamim v'natan lanu.
I think you got the wrong prayer there. I think you were doing the Aliyah. Baruch Einu Melecham Asher Kitshal Mitzvotav V'Ratzavanu V'Shabbat Kodsho.
V'ahava uvratzon hinkilanu, zikaron lema'aseh v'reishi, yom tequila lemikrai kodesh, zekel litziat mitzrayim, ikanu kata, yotanu kidashta, mikol hamim. Shabbat kochaka, v'ahava uvratzon, inkaltanu. Baruch atah Adonai, mikadesh ha-Shabbat. Amen.
Thank you, Caton. L'chaim. And we'll let Flo lead us in. Do you have challah, Flo?
Night.
Never worry, because it's already almost November. And of course, what do we still have in Mikveh Israel?
Round.
Round challah still. How many did we order? I have absolutely no idea. But I know I didn't order 50 of them. But we still have more, and they're all delicious. And they unfroze one just for me tonight, probably because there's not enough room in the freezer for any more. So, would you lead us in the late October prayer, because for the round challah? And then in the meantime, Flo, I'm going to have you write a prayer for the round challah for Hanukkah, because we'll probably have some then too.
Okay. Okay. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lechem min haaretz.
Amen.
Amen.
Again, Shabbat Shalom. Thank you all for joining us. We wish you all the best. And we will see you next week as we have live services. Tomorrow we have live services. Jessica and Mac will be leading them. So looking forward to it. Kelly, will you lead us out with some beautiful music? Great to have Kelly back. Shabbat Shalom, everybody. Thank you for the invisible hands, Lucille. Stay safe, everybody. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat shalom.